belong to us now.
Not today.
Officer Jasmine Reed felt the rough hands clamp down on her arms like iron vices, dragging her deeper into the chaos of Oakridge State Penitentiary. The air was thick with smoke from burning trash cans, and the metallic tang of blood hung heavy in the dim corridors. Inmates jeered from the catwalks above, their faces twisted in savage glee, seeing her as nothing more than a vulnerable Targeta Black corrections officer caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. But as they shoved her to the cold concrete floor, Jasmine's mind raced back to the gritty streets of Chicago's South Side, where survival wasn't a choice but a brutal necessity. She had clawed her way out of foster homes riddled with abuse and underground brawls where one wrong move meant lights out forever. These men thought they had her cornered. They had no idea what fury they were about to unleash. The day had started like any other in the sprawling facility nestled in the flatlands of Illinois, where cornfields stretched endlessly beyond the razor-wire fences. Jasmine stood at her post in the main yard, her sharp eyes scanning the clusters of inmates milling about under the watchful gaze of guard towers. At 52, she carried herself with the quiet authority earned from 2 decades on the job, her uniform crisp despite the humid Midwest summer. Her partner, Mike Harlan, a grizzled veteran with a mustache that screamed old-school cop, nodded as he passed. "Inmates are buzzing today, Reed. Feels like a storm's brewing." "You're right," Jasmine replied, her voice steady but low. She had noticed the subtle shifts, the whispered conversations, the lingering stares, the way groups formed and dispersed with unnatural precision. It reminded her of the gang territories back in Englewood, where tension built like pressure in a faulty boiler. She adjusted her radio, boots echoing on the gravel as she moved toward the chow hall. Inside, the room hummed with restrained energy. Rows of metal tables gleamed under fluorescent lights, trays clattering as inmates filed in. Jasmine positioned herself near the exit, arms crossed, her presence a silent deterrent. But her instincts screamed warning. A burly inmate slammed his tray down, yelling about the slop they called food. It was the spark. Tables flipped in a cascade of noise, plastic utensils morphing into makeshift weapons. The alarm blared, a piercing wail that cut through the din code read in chow hall. Jasmine barked into her radio, dodging a flying chair. She saw Mike across the room, trying to herd a group towards safety, but the tide of bodies overwhelmed him. Inmates surged like a wave, coordinated in a way that suggested planning. Jasmine fought back, her training kicking in, sidestepping a lunge, delivering a precise elbow to an attacker's solar plexus. But numbers prevailed. Hands grabbed her from behind, wrenching her arms back. She stomped on a foot, hearing a crunch, but more piled on. They hauled her through the corridors towards cell block D, the heart of the riot. Cheers erupted from the tiers above, a cacophony of rebellion. "Got ourselves a prize," one sneered, his breath hot on her neck. She recognized him, Lopez, a lifer with a rap sheet longer than the Mississippi. Jasmine's head throbbed from a glancing blow, but she stayed calm, assessing. The riot wasn't random, it was a smokescreen. Whispers of an escape plan floated in the air like ghosts. In the center of Block D, they threw her down amid the flickering light of improvised fires. Inmates circled like wolves, their eyes hungry. "You're done, officer," Lopez laughed, landing a slap that split her lip. Blood filled her mouth, but Jasmine didn't flinch. Inside, the old fire stirred, the one from nights in dingy basements where she fought for scraps, her fists her only ticket out. "Back off," Carlos Rivera's voice boomed. The Latino gang leader pushed through, his tattooed arms commanding respect. "She's leverage. We need her alive for negotiations." Hank Dawson, a massive brute with prison ink crawling up his neck, stepped forward, his dead eyes fixed on Jasmine. "Why wait? Guards never showed us mercy. Time to even the score." The crowd murmured, tension crackling. Jasmine watched the power play, noting alliances and fractures. Hands groped at her uniform. She exploded. An elbow to a groin, a palm to a throat, 2 down in seconds. But they swarmed, forcing her to her knees. Rivera squatted close. "Play smart, Reed. Cooperate, and you might walk out." Her mind flashed to darker days. Foster parents who locked doors and swung belts. Alleys where gangs tested her mettle. She had learned to bide time, strike surgically. As they bound her, she spotted Victor Kane on the upper tier, his scarred face impassive. Game recognized game. He nodded subtly, vanishing into shadows. Dragged to a cell, Jasmine listened to arguments outside. She broke Dawson's nose, let him have her. Idiots, a dead guard means no deals. Rivera shouted. Jasmine called out. Kill me, and you're all lifers. Keep me alive, you bargain. Murmurs shifted. She sowed doubt, highlighting how the hardcore inmates dragged others down. Rivera leaned in. Clever, but don't push it. I see through your game. She smirked inwardly. Seeds planted. The block devolved into frenzy fights over loot, graffiti scrawled on walls. Jasmine overheard Elias Thorne and Bear Wilkins in shadows. Tunnels clear. Riot covers us. 2 hours to the old sewer line. Her blood ran cold. Thorne, a calculated killer from organized crime, planned escape. If he got out, more blood on the streets, families shattered, like those she knew growing up. She needed allies. Sowing discord with a young inmate, Timmy Ruiz, she whispered, when this ends, choices matter. Don't cross that line. As night fell, Jasmine tracked movements. Thorne's crew slipped to maintenance. Victor tensed at Thorne's passing old grudge. She signaled him. Thorne's using you all. Betrayed you before, right? 3 years ago, that heist gone wrong. Victor's jaw clenched. What do you want? Help stop him. I'll vouch for you at parole. They shook through bars, uneasy pact. But trust was thin. Victor engineered her release under pretense of fixing a flood. In showers, ambushed Dawson and crew. Payback time. Jasmine fought Farrell. Knee to groin, head to pipe. Victor shivved one. Blood-slicked tiles. Rivera arrived, shocked. What happened? They jumped us. Dawson dragged away, cursing. Reputation grew. Whispers of her prowess spread. Night deepened. Jasmine slipped her compromised lock, crept to a camera. Wiring knowledge from maintenance duties SOS in Morse. Mike would see. Ex-military, he'd know. Victor visited. Tides turning. His smirk unsettled her. Morning. Planning with Victor and neutrals Jake, fraudster, Big Tom, reformed assaulter, Ellis, embezzler. Ambush at corridor. Distraction set. But betrayal. Victor stabbed Big Tom. Thorne offered freedom. Jasmine captured again. Into tunnels. Damp, echoing. Bound. She played broken. Sent through narrow breach to secure rope. Struck slammed Victor's head, blocked gap. Chaos. Shiv found. Inmates poured through one by one. She cut them down, throat slash, kidney stab. Pipe wielded like a bat. Fear spread. She's a demon. Pursuit. Thorne and Bear fled to forest. Jasmine followed, pipe heavy. Split up, tackled Bear. Brutal fight. Lifted, slammed, choked. Vision faded. Gunshot SWAT, Mike leading. Got your signal. Bear down, Thorne captured. Block retaken. Gas, bangs, arrests. Jasmine limped out, Victor chained, raging. Guards stared in awe. Inmates silent, respectful. Afternoon. On steps with Mike, coffee in hand. Never seen anything like it. They're calling you the Shadow. Commendations offered. She demurred. Change dynamics, respect earned through fire. Jasmine Reed had faced the abyss and stared it down, her past forging her into an unbreakable force. The riot ended, order restored, her legend etched in Oakridge's walls. What do you think about the themes of violence and injustice in this story? Share your opinions in the comments below. Do you believe force is sometimes necessary to combat evil, or does it perpetuate the cycle? Take a stand and let me know your views.